A poor girl sold herself for $3 million, only to discover he's a handsome young CEO. What are you even thinking, Emma? Her cousin sneered, slamming a crumbled bill on the kitchen table. You can't even pay for your mom's hospital bills, and yet you still dream about finishing college. Wake up, you're dirt poor. Emma sat silently, her hands clenched into fists. Her cousin's words stung, but they weren't new. She'd heard them all her life. Poor girl, hopeless girl, a burden. Her mother's weak cough from the bedroom broke her thoughts. Emma rushed over, adjusting her mother's pillow. Don't worry, Mom. I'll find the money. I promise. But promises didn't pay for treatments, and every day her mother grew weaker. That evening, Emma overheard her aunt whispering with a man in a gray suit. He looked her over like she was cattle in a market. Fresh-faced, pretty enough. If she agrees, I'll pay. $3 million, cash. She'll belong to him for a year. After that, she's free. Her blood ran cold. She wanted to scream, to run. But then she saw her mother's medical report lying on the table. $3 million. It was more than enough to save her mom's life, cover treatments, and even buy a home where she wouldn't be mocked as the poor girl. Her aunt smirked. Well, Emma, you said you'd do anything. Here's your chance. Her heart pounded. Sell herself to a stranger. It felt like a sin. But what choice did she have? If she said no, her mother would die. Swallowing her pride, she whispered, I'll do it. The man's lips curved into a smile. Good. The boss will be pleased. The next day, a sleek black car arrived at their shabby street. Neighbors peeked through curtains, whispering, Who's she leaving with? She's just a poor girl. Maybe she's selling herself. Their words cut deep, but Emma kept her chin high. Inside the car, she trembled. Her palms were sweaty as the driver escorted her into a towering glass skyscraper in the heart of the city. Everything screamed luxury, polished marble floors, golden elevators, staff bowing as she passed. Finally, she was led into a penthouse suite. There, standing by the window, was a man in a tailored black suit. His back was to her, broad shoulders outlined against the city skyline. When he turned, Emma froze. He wasn't some old tycoon or cruel monster. He was young, no older than 30, with sharp blue eyes, perfectly styled dark hair, and a face that looked like it belonged on a magazine cover. You're Emma? His deep voice asked. She nodded, speechless. He studied her for a moment, then placed a contract on the table. $3 million, 1 year. You'll stay by my side, attend events, live here. In return, I'll cover your mother's medical bills immediately. Her hand shook as she signed. She didn't even read the fine print. Her mind was too clouded with fear and desperation. Good, he said, his lips curling into something between a smirk and a smile. From now on, you belong to me. I'm Adrian Cole. Her heart nearly stopped. Adrian Cole, the youngest billionaire CEO in the country? She had read about him in magazines, but never dreamed she'd stand this close. And now, she was his. At first, Emma expected cruelty. She thought Adrian would treat her like an object, just another poor girl bought with money. But to her surprise, he didn't. He gave her a private room in his penthouse, far more beautiful than anything she'd ever lived in. He ordered doctors to treat her mother immediately, no questions asked. He didn't touch her without consent. Instead, he observed her quietly, like he was studying her every move. Still, she couldn't shake the shame. At dinner, she avoided his gaze, pushing food around her plate. Why did you choose me? She asked one evening, her voice trembling. Adrian leaned back, watching her. You're different. You're not like the women who throw themselves at me. You were desperate enough to sacrifice yourself for love. That caught my attention. Her cheeks burned. So, this is just entertainment for you? Watching a poor girl squirm? For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Pain, regret. But just as quickly, he masked it with a smirk. Think what you like. You signed the contract. Days turned into weeks. He took her to high-profile galas, charity dinners, even business meetings. The rich whispered behind their champagne glasses. Who is she? Why is Adrian with a poor girl? Emma held her head high. The wind sighed. She crumbled. She reminded herself, this is for Mom. This is survival. But late at night, when Adrian thought she was asleep, she heard him pacing, drinking, muttering to himself. The confident CEO everyone admired seemed broken. One night she caught him staring at an old photograph of a woman. His hands trembled as he held it. Who is she? She whispered. His jaw tightened. Someone I lost. He shoved the photo away, his eyes cold again. Don't ask me about it. Emma felt her chest tightened. She sold herself for survival, but now she was caught in something far more dangerous, because beneath Adrian's cold mask was a man hiding secrets, and Emma was determined to uncover them. Eat, Adrian said, setting down a tray in Emma's room. You haven't had anything since morning. I'm not hungry, she muttered, staring at the skyline through the floor-to-ceiling glass. He didn't argue. He simply sat across from her, hands folded, expression unreadable. For a while, they just listened to the humming city. Finally, Emma spoke. The hospital called. They said all my mom's bills were cleared. The doctor mentioned something called the Aurelius Trust. You met Adrian, the orphan who became the CEO. She met his eyes. That was you, wasn't it? Adrian didn't blink. Your mother needed immediate treatment. That's not in the contract, she said quietly. No, he replied. Silence stretched between them. She searched his face like there was a door there, some handle she could turn to understand him. But Adrian Cole was all glass and shadows, clear, reflective, yet impossible to grasp. Later that night, the penthouse felt too big for her thoughts. She wandered down the hall and stopped outside his study. The door was ajar. A dim desk lamp cut a small circle of gold in the dark. Folders lay open. Nightingale Health, Gray Ridge Division, procurement reports. Her eyes caught on a word scribbled in red ink. Counterfeit. A floorboard creaked. Curious? Adrian's voice was calm, but it held an edge. She turned, flustered. I got lost. Sorry. He stepped in, shutting the folder with 2 fingers. This room is private. I'm not going to touch anything, she said, heat rising to her cheeks. You sold yourself for $3 million. Don't talk to me about what you are or aren't. The words hit like a slap. She swallowed hard. Right. I forgot. I belong to you. He closed his eyes for a half second, as if he regretted it, but when he opened them, they were cold again. Go to sleep, Emma. She left without another word. The next day, he took her to a charity gala. Everyone knew him, the young CEO, the billionaire with the perfect smile. Cameras flashed, champagne whispered in crystal. Emma wore a simple black dress that fit like it was made for her. She kept close to him because the room felt dangerous and beautiful at the same time. A woman with crimson lips stepped in front of them. Adrian, she purred, you brought company. Vanessa, Adrian said smoothly. This is Emma. The woman's eyes skimmed Emma, slow and sharp. Ah, the companion. CFO, Adrian told Emma, under his breath. Don't mind her. Vanessa's smile didn't reach her eyes. The board meeting, at mine. Don't be late. I have concerns. Of course you do, he said, moving Emma past her. Later, while Adrian was pulled into a circle of investors, Emma slipped to the balcony for air. The city below looked like a grid of stars. She hugged herself against the wind. Pretty view, a voice said. She turned. A man in a gray suit leaned against the railing, face familiar, the same broker who delivered the contract to her aunt. Her stomach dropped. What are you doing here? She whispered. Networking, he said with a grin. You like your new cage, sweetheart? High ceilings, nice glass? Emma stepped back. Stay away from me. His smile thinned. Your aunt still owes. Debts are like ghosts. They follow. If your new owner gets tired, you know where to find me. Nightingale's friends always pay better. Leave, she said, trying to keep her voice from shaking. A shadow fell over them. Adrian stood at the doorway, jaw tight. Is there a problem? The broker's grin vanished. He tipped an imaginary hat. No problem at all, Mr. Cole. Adrian's eyes were made of winter. Who is he to you? He brought the contract to my aunt. Adrian's fist clenched once. From now on, you don't go anywhere alone. Take Carl. He motioned to a silent man by the door, broad shoulders, earpiece. If anyone approaches you, anyone, you call me. I'm not a porcelain doll, she said. You're a target, and you don't know how many hands want to hold the strings. On the ride home, Emma watched his reflection in the car window.
Weak, she admitted, but not sinking anymore. Whoever helped us, may God bless him. Adrian stood in the doorway, oddly shy. He set a paper bag of fresh bread on the table and bowed his head slightly. Ma'am? Emma's mother smiled, warmth reaching her tired eyes. Thank you, son. They shared breakfast, quiet, simple, real. For a moment, Emma forgot the contract, the cameras, the polished floors. She saw Adrian breaking bread for her mother like any good man would. And that scared her more than anything, because it felt too easy to trust him. A knock. Emma went to the door. Her aunt pushed in without waiting, perfume too sweet, smile too wide. Look at you, the aunt cooed, eyes flicking to Adrian. Upgraded fast, didn't you? Aunt, Emma warned. Relax. I came to apologize, she said, lifting her hands. That club was a bad idea, but I was desperate. Desperate for whose pockets? Emma shot back. Her aunt's face hardened for a heartbeat, then smoothed again. Anyway, I brought breakfast too. She set a second bag on the counter, fingers brushing against Emma's phone. Emma moved it away. Adrian watched quietly, like a chess player counting moves. When the aunt left, Adrian turned to Emma. We're changing the locks today. Paranoid? She asked. Prepared, he said. By noon, a locksmith had replaced the locks. Emma's mother napped. Adrian stood at the window, eyes on the street. You think she'll come back? She murmured. I think she never left, he replied. He was right. At dusk, two men waited at the corner, pretending to smoke. The gray-suit broker appeared beside them, tapping his watch. Stay inside, Adrian said, already on his phone. Carl, back door, now. The doorbell rang. Then again, louder. Emma's aunt's voice floated through. Emma, open up. I forgot my scarf. Emma looked to Adrian. He shook his head. The knob rattled. Keys scraped uselessly. New locks. Footsteps. A window rattled. Then a loud bang from the back. Carl's voice cut through, calm, lethal. Step away! A scuffle. Shouts. The aunt's hiss. The sound of running feet. Sirens in the distance, growing louder. Adrian exhaled. Good. Emma was shaking. What is this? Who are they? He faced her fully at last, the glass mask gone. People tied to Nightingale. The same people who supplied counterfeit drugs to clinics across the city. The same people who launder money through hospital charities and recruit girls from clubs when their debts grow too big. Her breath caught. Counterfeit? Drugs? He nodded once. My sister died because of them. The room tilted. She remembered the photo he kept, the way his hand trembled. The woman in the picture? Arya, he said. She was 27, bright, loud, impossible not to love. We trusted a clinic. We trusted their medicine. It was poison. He stared at his hands. I took the company after my father died. I followed the money. It led to Nightingale's Grey Ridge unit, to shell suppliers, to the broker on that balcony. He lifted his eyes to hers. Your aunt was in their books. When they put your name on the list, I bought you off that list. If I hadn't, they would have owned you. No contract, no rules, no exit. Emma pressed a hand to her mouth. You saved me by buying me? His jaw flexed. I know how it sounds. She was crying before she realized it, tears hot and fast. She wasn't crying out of shame or anger. It was grief for his sister, for the girls who didn't get a contract with clean edges, for the way the world sold pain in different packages. You should have told me, she whispered. I needed you safe first, and I needed leverage. Your aunt could connect the pipeline from clubs to clinics. With her, we can break it. Using me as bait? She asked, not accusing, just naming it. His silence was an answer. I don't forgive you, she said, wiping her cheeks. Not yet. I didn't ask for forgiveness. She met his eyes. But I'll help you. Something in his face softened, a fracture letting light through. Then we do this clean, he said. No headlines, no more danger. We take them down in the dark, and when the sun rises, there's nothing left to hide. She nodded. What do you need from me? Courage, he said, and the truth. 2 days later, scandal exploded anyway. A gossip site posted a grainy photo. Young CEO buys poor girl for $3 million. Who is she? The article had just enough fact to sound true and just enough venom to burn. By noon, drones buzzed outside the penthouse. By evening, hashtags trended. Emma's face, blurred in some photos, too clear in others, was everywhere. She sat on the bedroom floor, phone dark, heart hammering. This will kill my mother, she whispered. She can't take stress. Adrian stood with his back to the window, phone to his ear. Pull it down, he told his PR head. Issue a holding statement, no details, then find me the leak. He hung up and turned to Emma. This came from inside. The CFO? Emma asked, thinking of crimson lips. She wants my seat. This is how you soften a throne. The elevator dinged. Carl entered, jaw set. We've got chatter. Your aunt met with the broker. Tonight. Same club. Emma stood. Then we go. Adrian hesitated. It's a nest. I'm not a porcelain doll, she repeated his words back to him. He almost smiled. No, you're not. They didn't dress like they belonged to a penthouse. Adrian wore a plain jacket, old jeans. Emma wrapped a scarf around her hair, eyes steady. Carl drove. The city blurred past, neon reflected on rain-slicked streets. Inside the club, bass thumped like a hard heartbeat. The broker sat in a VIP booth with Emma's aunt and two men Emma didn't know. Papers lay between them. Money. A pen. Emma's aunt reached for the pen. Don't, Emma said, stepping out of the dark. Her aunt jumped. What are you doing here? Ending this, Emma said. The broker smiled slow. Good. Saves me a phone call. There's a buyout clause on girls with famous protectors. $5 million, Mr. Cole. Walk away. Adrian stepped beside Emma. I brought something better than cash, he said. Police? The broker laughed. We own 3 of them, at least. Adrian's smile didn't reach his eyes. I didn't say police. He lifted a hand. Men in plain clothes emerged from the gloom. Federal agents, silent and clean. Badges flashed like small suns. The music cut. Light snapped bright. Hands where we can see them, a voice commanded. Panic scattered across faces. The broker ran. Carl was faster. The aunt froze, eyes blown wide. Emma stood still, heart pounding, pulse loud in her ears. An agent approached. Mr. Rivera, she said to Emma's aunt. You're under arrest for trafficking, fraud, and conspiracy. You have the right to stay silent. No, she whispered, trembling. She looked at Emma. Help me! Emma's throat closed. You sold me, she said softly. And you kept selling other girls when I was gone. I won't help you. They took her away. The broker, too. 2 men, 3 more from a back office. On the way out, agents rolled carts stacked with boxes, files, cash, ledgers, drives, evidence, names. Outside, rain had started. The city smelled clean. Emma stood under the club's awning, shivering. Adrian stepped close, holding out his jacket. "You did well." She shook her head. "I didn't do anything." "You told the truth when it mattered. That's more than most." He draped the jacket over her shoulders. It was warm, smelled like cedar and rain. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Emma asked what the real reason you chose me. Not the speech about sacrifice, the real one. Adrian's eyes were very blue in the streetlight. 2 years ago, before I became CEO, I got stuck in an elevator at the old Westport hospital. A nurse panicked. An old man couldn't breathe. Everyone shouted. You were there with your mother. You pressed the nurse's shoulders down and said, "Breathe, count with me." You kept the old man calm until the doors opened. Then you gave your place in line to a stranger so he could be seen first. He exhaled, like he'd been holding that breath for 2 years. "I never forgot," he said. After she died, I started looking for people who made the world softer. When your aunt put your name on a list like meat, I took it off. Emma swallowed, words stuck behind the lump in her throat. She hadn't remembered the elevator. She hadn't known anyone saw. "I didn't read the contract fine print," she said at last.